Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Hartland football's very own Jax Wilson. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Getting ready for a big playoff game against Holt. Um, Before we get into that, talk about how the year's kind of going. I know 2 wins to close out the year after a tough loss against Northville. Just kind of talk about how you guys responded well toward the end of the season.
Yeah, no, we're 6-3 right now, and I think once we had those couple of close wins, we kind of came together and just talked about it. And it's like we have to get these wins in order to qualify. And some of those losses didn't show the true talent and hard work we could put in and what we can get out of it. So I think that now that we're on this streak, we're just going to keep showing people what we can do here at Hartland and keep moving.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of talk about how you've kind of grown as a player in these last, few weeks. Because really the offense and defense has really been clicking these last few weeks.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. So, past 2 weeks I've been spread out a little bit more at wide receiver, I guess, because we've been kind of trying out some different things there. Just formulating different schemes for to combat against these defenses. And I think I'll be moving a little bit back to the tight end sets this week against Holt. And defense has been well. I think our whole line is just they've come together. Like we can rotate a few people, but we have that connection, line and then the linebackers, all that front group that just we connect, and that's what makes the defense super strong.
Going into this week against Holt, going up and traveling there, it's a bit of a drive for you guys. So the whole ride there is going to be a challenge just to sit through it. That's gonna how do you handle that as a player?
Yeah, no, some games it's always nerve-wracking getting on the bus and traveling places, but I think this one is just going to be. I don't anticipate that many people sleeping on this one because I don't know how you could. You just got to be wired and ready to go for this because this is such a big game. Especially for us. I didn't even know completely until the other day that we hadn't won a playoff game since 2008, and that's just what we've been thinking about all week is we want to be the team to do that. It's the third year, 3 years in a row that we've made the playoffs, and that's huge. But it's been 14 years since we've won one, so that's a big thing. We made goals in the beginning of the season that we wrote down, and one of our goals, one of the big ones, was to win a playoff game. So that's what we're going for, and that's been our goal the whole season.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But if you're going to win a playoff game, you're going to have to beat a very tough Holt team at their place, and you're going to have a challenge stopping Isaiah Foster.
Yeah. No, we've been watching lots of film, and they have some great athletes. Just fast guys that just explode off the line, and just hard-nosed football players. And I think we got that here, and it's kind of a battle of two teams that are similar, just going at, they got Foster, we got Matter, it's a big matchup like that, sometimes, I see a lot of similarities between our teams, and sometimes that can help, a team with similarities, you can find those little kinks and stuff to give you the upper hand. So.
Yeah. Going into this game, a lot of the two teams are very similar defensively. Mm-hmm. It's I just talked to their head coach, and they said that they carried him in a lot of the games that they were in. Another solid defense by you guys is your defense has kind of helped you out as well. Just obviously you play both sides of the ball. What have you noticed about this defense that's really kind of getting better throughout the week?
Well, for our defense,
yes.
I've just noticed that we're playing a lot faster than we have, and we're just that explosiveness that we're having, and locking down those points to where we're finding all their little things that they have. We're different plays that they run and how the linebackers got to cover it and how we have to. We're looking at the tendencies of as defensive linemen, we got to look at the person that's going to be in front of us on the offensive line and their tendencies and what they'll do. And if we lock those down, and you'll minimize the surprises you could see in game from that person across from you. And that's one of those things that can definitely help out for sure.
Yeah. And then also you kind of talk about going into, stopping their offense. What's it going to take to, many people have talked about when anyone plays Hartland, how are you going to stop Joey? But the question is for you guys this week, how are you guys going to stop Isaiah?
Yeah, I mean, just if every person on the defense, all 11 people do their job and don't get out of position, and obviously there's going to be some mistakes here and there, but if you minimize those and just do your job, that's one of our mottos we've had for like 4 years here in Hartland is do your job. You got to do your 1/11th that you have on the field at one time, and if you do that, and you play with a high motor, you play fast, should be able to stop them. And then their defense is great. And definitely we got the same record. Our defense has definitely kept us in a lot of games, and theirs has too. And that's where I see the similarities again. So we definitely got to turn up our offense for sure. But if it comes down to that defensive battle, then we're ready to go with that too.
Yeah. So for a lot of people that may not know a lot about you, of course you've lived in this area all your life, but your dad also has played college football in the NFL. Of course, I think your dad was just on a recent podcast. I think it was by one of the K-State writers or something, talking about his days playing college football. When he transferred from Michigan State, when he played with Nick Saban, and going to KSU to play for Bill Snyder. What's that like to have? It's like, no, my dad played college football in the NFL. That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's a role model to look up to always. He comes from a small town just down the road, Howell, and going to Michigan State and then transferring, across the country and being part of that 2003, that Big 12 championship, and being, starting fullback, blocking for Sproles. And he was a captain, team captain for 2 years there, and it's just, he's just a huge inspiration. Someone I'm always looking up to, and following in the footsteps. So yeah, it's huge.
And obviously, looking in the playoffs, I mean, it's win or go home. I don't think anybody wants to go home, but someone's going to go home.
Yeah.
What is it going to take for you guys not to say goodbye, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we just have to, we have some of these games, these last couple games, we've been thinking we have to play this game like it's our last game. And that's what you got to do, because if you want to get to the other one, everything is earned now. There's no more guaranteed 9 games. This is, you got to earn the next one. And I think we just got to come out, sometimes, I noticed that we can start a little slow and then pick it up, maybe in second quarter or even the second half sometimes. I think, we just have to come out fast from that first snap. And that is what will definitely make the difference this week, is if we come out with, super speed from that first play.
All right. Jax Wilson, thank you so much for spending a couple minutes with us, and best of luck this weekend against Holt.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.